Well, hey there, this is Amber Dawn Tarot, and we're going to start off with a creative collective reading. Just a quick few cards pick to start this off. For those of you who are creatively inclined, poets, writers, musicians, I can't say the word. We're on the verge of the equinox. We have the new moon. And I am waking up. How are you? Well, the first message I have here, and look at that, it's a 3 card. We'll set the deck aside. First message I have here is writing only leads to more writing. Quote by Colette. This is a Sark deck, if you're aware of Sark. Writing only leads to more writing. And I know that from a fact. In the past, when I had a daily writing practice, it led me to write more and more. Word by word, page by page. Reminds me of Bird by Bird, a book about writing poetry. Mom cat. Moment by moment. Mom cat. Why did I think that? Your writing is created through you. Think less and write more. Well, if that ain't a card pulled just for me, I don't know. But I'm sure that if it resonates with me, it might resonate with others. So like with any of these cards that I might pull, pick what resonates for you. And don't worry about the rest. It isn't for you, it isn't for you. What's for you is for you. What isn't. But for me as a writer, it's so interesting. That's the first card I would pull. Writing only leads to more writing. That's the truth. As somebody who wants to write, has found that writing often has saved my life. That form of expression for me has resonated for me, through me, been there for me since I was a very young age. From keeping a diary to writing stories when I was younger, being more fantastical in my writing, to being more confessional as I got older, to the expression of poetry, but continuing to journal, it definitely has been something that the more I would do, the better I would do at it, not as in skill, but as in expressing myself. And sometimes when you're writing, it's very hard if you've stayed away from it, even especially if you've wanted to be writing and you've stayed away from it. Well, I'm telling you, what will happen is once you start it, maybe it's difficult at first, or maybe it comes all too easy because that's been waiting there all that long to just come out. It's right there, and that might scare you the most, is that it's right there. Once you sit there and you actually put the time to writing instead of distracting yourself, the word's going to be right there. It was waiting for you. The page was waiting for you to just show up to it. But sometimes there is resistance for some people, like myself. If I'm going through some things, when I'm gonna, you will find that you might be surface writing. And maybe you don't like that space where you're surface level writing, where you're maybe not writing as well as you could, or saying the things that you should. But you know what? Get through that surface level writing stage. Keep going. It won't take you long. Give yourself a set timer, or just do something like 750 pages, 750words.com, like the morning, the Artist's Way method, but 750words.com. Wow, 750 pages is a lot. So some of you are working on books, but keep writing through the surface level, and you are going to get down to the bottom of it. You are going to go underneath. You're going to dig to the bones. You're going to get there. But yeah, writing only leads to more writing. So yeah, and for those who are in the poetry, look up Bird by Bird. Fantastic book with a lot of great advice. So that would be the first card. The second one seems we are thinking about writing. All 3 cards, I kid you not. So for those of you who are painters, artists, etc. out there, this stuff can resonate with you too. But this can be attributed to any of the arts. But this is clearly a message to myself and others like me, I think. I don't know. Welcome your writer self. Your writer self wants to be wooed, celebrated, supported, and encouraged. Write a welcoming note to your writer self and put it up where you can see it. Now, it's always been hard for me to do kind of affirmations or things like this. This is a bit more the whimsy. So if you're a whimsy, and you want to be doing something like this seems like a very good thing. We don't self-validate enough. Many of us look for validation through others' approval and their acceptance of our work and or ourselves and or of their response and reactions to what we have created. But you know who it should really, well, there is a reader that you might have in mind, or it is for somebody else perhaps to start with. A writer or an artist is called from something within their soul that wants to express and or create and or put out there the things that they feel called or pulled to say and or just to express for themselves. And sometimes there's not always somebody cheering you on. There's not always somebody that's going to take your hand and say, hey, you know, you're a writer, you belong in this, you are one, you know, that there isn't always somebody doing that. And if there is, maybe you don't believe it. Maybe it's still, you know, maybe even you've been published like a little bit. Maybe you've had a poem published. Maybe people have responded to your writing online or elsewhere. Maybe people have said it, and still part of you is like, but am I a writer? Am I really one if I'm not this or that? No. You need to self-validate yourself. But you also can do that in different ways. And one of that isn't just like, telling yourself over and over. You might not believe it. Write yourself or paint something or collage something or put up something for yourself that is a reminder saying you are here. You are welcome here to create. You are welcome to write. You are already what you want to be. You just got to do it. So just say, welcome in this, make a space that is suited for your writing. And you know what? That doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a big lavish desk or all the space in the world. Maybe you just don't. Maybe you don't have anything like that. But there's always a little portion of space that you can carve out where you pull out that journal, that writing notebook. That's something. If you are somebody who goes outside of the home, well, look at you. There is some place where you can write and or feel like you can welcome your writer self if it's not right where you are. But I would write where you are, write wherever you are. And this third one is go deeper, say more with your writing, which kind of goes with what I was going on a tangent on the first one. Go deeper. Now, going deeper means you have to start first. Start first. You can have many beginnings of writing. And many beginnings of painting and many beginnings of picking up your instrument. But guess what? You aren't starting at the beginning each time you do it. It'll feel like it. You might feel like a stranger coming back to something that you knew so intimately, but you are not. You have already been the writer, been the painter, been the person who made music, been the person who expressed themselves. That part of you never went away. It might have felt destroyed. It might have felt hindered. It might have felt covered. It might have felt fractured or something. It might have felt like you'd put it so far somewhere deep within that you don't even know where it is. You can't find it and you're afraid to even try. But I'm telling you, it's there. Go deeper, say more with your writing. So, you know, let's say you're doing something like 750words.com. I keep wanting to say pages. Some of you are writing lots of books, or you got books in mind, like myself. So you're going deeper. So you go deeper. So you know what? It's easy to just put some stuff down, make it look pretty. Why don't you go beneath that? Dare yourself. Go deeper. You're writing about one thing. Now, simplicity in writing can be a beautiful thing. I personally lean toward the simplicity, directness in my writing, but you can still go deep with that. What you do is be brave. Be brave. This is calling you to be brave. Say more with your writing. As in, you have more to say. Say it. You have more beneath that. It's not like, oh, just expand it with beautiful words and big thesaurus, although a thesaurus is a wonderful gift. No, it's saying go deeper. You're talking about one thing. What is underneath that? What is that leading you to? What's underneath that? What made you want to write that sentence in the first place? Lead with it. Go with it. Give yourself a few minutes. You wrote, let's say you're looking at some writing you just did. You're looking back at that portion of writing. You're looking at it and you're going, I wrote this one sentence this just grabbed me. The rest of it, I don't know how I feel about the rest of it. But this one sentence, this one phrase, this one bit, it's just, like, this is good. You're either thinking this is good, or you're thinking this is bothering me, and or this, I'm trying to say something here. Explore that. Take that one sentence, put it at the top of the page, and then go for a few minutes with that and do a free write of it. Do a free write from there of that one statement or phrase that seems to be like a key or something that will unlock more. I'm telling you, you do that and you'll surprise yourself. You'll be like, whoa, I didn't think I was gonna go there. So you could do, let's say you're doing 750words.com. I'm not promoting them, not sponsored, but that's a site I've used for years when I'm doing free writing for my journaling. Let's say you're writing a bunch of stuff, it's all surface, but there was like you finally got to one phrase near the end, or there was one thing in the beginning, but you didn't want to go there. You see it there. When you look back over it, let's say you look back over it, take that phrase out, put it down, maybe use pen and paper, or do whatever you want with it, or take out a collage, do whatever you want with it. But something about that phrase is going to take you someplace, and it's going to take you someplace, it's going to take you further with your writing. It's going to take you through that surface level. It's going to take you through that layer. It's going to take you to that part that you really should be writing and saying about. This isn't necessarily about trauma or dark things of horror or anything, although sometimes maybe it is. Maybe it is hard to touch. But like sometimes it's just something very truthful. In that statement, something about that statement was rung true for you. Where is it going to lead? Let yourself find out. So, what does it say in the back? Allow yourself to travel further in your writing than you have before. Travel through the layers and deepen what you share. This will strengthen your writing. And your heart's offering. I'm finding it hard to read. Sorry about that. And your heart's offering. Because isn't that where it's all coming from? Your mind and your heart, and look at the connection between your soul and your heart and all that. It's coming from your very being. It's coming from that unique person that you are. I like that there are stars on here. Happy new moon and happy equinox for those who are watching this at this time, but this can be at any time that this could resonate for you. See? Right there, mentioning the layers. See, for some of us, especially going back to the first card, you're going to have to keep writing to get through those layers. That will deepen what you share. And without doing that, you won't get there. But you can. Some of us, who have been procrastinating our writing, been putting it off, been afraid, maybe we're going through some stuff, and just have found it hard to start. Found it overwhelming. And then when you go to start to write, you're like, well, I don't seem to have as much to say as I thought, or I'm saying a bunch of nothing. Keep going. You just got that bit of blockage. It's gonna come through. You just keep going. You have to keep going with that writing. There are layers. You can deepen what you share. That's so true. But it's not even if you're not sharing your work, you will deepen that relationship with yourself, that connection, that what you have to say for yourself is right there. And writing does lead to more writing. Writing daily, What seems surface that can get deep could lead to offering something bigger, offering yourself other routes of writing and expression that can lead to something more beautiful and or meaningful for you, because it's for you first, and then when it goes out there, it goes for others. So writing only leads to more writing. Welcome your writer self. Go deeper, say more with your writing. So those are our 3 creative cards. For those who are hoping for something related to painting and or other forms of expression, it just wasn't there today for this first reading. It is definitely one that was calling me out, but I kind of almost expected that, as it's been a while for me personally. With this stuff, with that part of opening up the heart, the path, just going through the door of expression for yourself can be difficult. It might seem like there's a lot in the way, or you can't see the door, but it's there. Just go through the door of your heart. It's the well, maybe the well within has been dry, or you feel it overflowing inside you and you're afraid to just, it's like maybe it's like that vessel that is full of water, you feel it's overflowing. You're just like, you've just been letting it go overflow, and you're just like, look, I'm not dealing with that anytime soon. That's too much. Start a bucket and a mop. Sorry. But whenever I read, there's some sense of humor that comes out for some reason. The universe has a sense of humor. Have you not noticed? Have you not been living? It's got something going on there, and I think that balances out some of all the other stuff that goes on. But trust yourself with this. I will pull out one that hopefully is more about you than about me. 2 popped out. Yeah. Okay. Still calling me out. Writing changes you from the inside out. If you haven't been told to start journaling yet, if nobody's told you to journal or to give yourself time to be writing somehow, and while pen and paper can be a certain type of connection, I'm not dismissing typing. Heck, I'm not even dismissing those who do text to talk that may not have somebody has written a beautiful book through speech, through letter by letter. I'm telling you, there are ways to express yourself. But anyway, writing changes you from the inside out, doesn't it, though? You find out who you are. You become more of who you are. You can see your own patterns. You can see, you have all the keys within you, just like with dreams. You have all the meaning within you. You have your own code within you, your own you have the answers within you. You'd be surprised. It might not seem like it, but writing will reveal to you more than you can imagine, and it can help you change some of the things you feel that you need to change. Healing from the inside out is inspiration. You are literally giving breath to parts that might not have been expressed in you before. Let your writing carry your healing forward. I used to say my writing saves me when I was younger. When writing was something I did consistently, scroll wall to wall on the pages. I'm telling you, writing can save you. It can heal you. It can give you, it can foster the inspiration. And it will, if you write enough, just like if you paint enough, if you draw enough, if you sketch, you are going to express parts of you that may not have been expressed in you before. That goes back to going deeper, digging deeper. You will get there. In action before inspiration. This one is a tough one for everyone, because many people feel like, look, I know all this, but I'm not writing because I don't feel inspired to yet. There's not an idea that's coming to me that I feel like I want to put down. I could totally write an amazing poem, or maybe I can't. I don't know. I just don't have a great idea in me, and I just feel like I can't do it. First of all, calm down. What's going to lead, you have to show up to the page first. You have to show up to the screen. You have to show up to the page. You have to show up to the materials that you. If you're like me, you've got all that stuff around you. You've got the notebooks. You've got the blank journals. Maybe you've got the sketchbooks. You've got the paintbrushes. You've got the pens. You've got the you've had the materials around you. Maybe. What are you doing with it? You're looking at it. You're looking at it get dusty. Why aren't you using it? Because you think, oh, that idea isn't here yet. Or there's something about that. Look, show up. Just grab it. Set some time aside before you go distracting yourself again. Action before inspiration. The inspiration's going to be there. But you have to show up. So here, don't wait to be inspired. So many of us would, right? Take action and you will surely be inspired. Any action will do, small or large, and tiny works just as much. Focused imagination is also a form of action. So it's not saying if you don't have an idea, then that doesn't get... No. If you have an idea, put the time in focusing. So like a timer, an app I would suggest would be that forest one that will grow a tree in the time period. Set that time aside and just do it. Action before inspiration. You just gotta do the thing. You gotta show up to the page, show up to the screen, show up to whatever creative works you are wanting to do. Show up for yourself. I think that's where that card about writing a note to your writer self, welcoming them to that spot, that place, and letting them know that they're welcome here to express themselves. You know, that might be exactly what you need to do. For some of us, it's just literally show up. Show up and do the thing. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know, sure, there can be moments of divine inspiration, but some of those hit in the most mundane writing session you can imagine. The most just drudging through it session you could think of. And yes, even those of you who love to write, and you're like, I love to write. I've always wanted to write. I wanted to write. When I sit down and do it, it feels like such work. And I don't mean it in a complaining way, but it feels really, really hard and forced. And guess what? You got to go through some of that sometimes. It's a part of the process. It's a part of, you know what? I think personally, sometimes that's when you're closer. You're closer. Keep pushing it. Now, if you can't handle that all in one session, show up the next time. Show up the next day or the next writing session you've scheduled for yourself. If you have to schedule it, just give yourself a certain amount of time. Like they said, any amount of time. Show up again the next day. It'll get a little easier, or it'll be right there. You'd be surprised how quickly it will return to you, because it was never gone. That spark in you, that inspiration, that writing, that form of expression, that self-expression, the means to self-express, the means to be creative, is a part of you. You don't have to be labeled a creative. Nobody has to give you a certain accreditation that says you're, a membership card. There's no membership card. I think that that earlier card that says write a welcome the writer self thing, it kind of makes me think of like, maybe there's a lot of people that think that they need some sort of membership card to be a part of this club of being a creative or a poet or a writer or a painter or whatever. No. Nobody gives you that validation at the beginning or in the end when people have forgotten about it. Nobody gives you that except you. And you've already been given it, or else you wouldn't be here looking for something about creatives. You already know. You already know you're able. You already know it's in you. You already know you have this desire to express yourself and or to go further, to dig deeper, to share what's within you what you feel might be there. With others, maybe you feel you have a story, not just a creative one. Maybe you feel your life is the story, and maybe you're expressing it in so many different ways. Maybe you're not at all, but it's going to come out. Action before inspiration. Just begin. Writing changes you from the inside out. You do that, the change comes. You put that pen to paper, you turn on that writing screen, you do you take out the paints, even you blank page. Take out the journal, fill it with whatever you want. Writing changes you from the inside out. That's where the change happens. So you're self-expressing. The expression leads to more expression. Change will come from what you bring out of you, what you reveal, what you uncover for yourself. You will be changed, and for the better. If you're feeling stuck and not able to start, you're feeling stuck and you're feeling stagnant in this process, just begin and keep showing up for yourself in this, and the changes will happen. You direct where you're going to go with what you do in your creative process. It will lead you. It will flow through you. It will open up. You will unblock those things for yourself. But you have to do your part, which is show up and do it. Write it, paint it, express it. And talking about it is so easy. Longing for it is so easy. But stop torturing yourself and just start to do it. Write it. It's there. It's all there. Underneath however many layers that you've tried to form around it, or that the world has put around it, or circumstances, it's still there, which is kind of amazing. So just keep going. Show up first. And if you have to draw yourself a membership card, heck the writer label. If you have to make your own membership card that says I'm a member of the Creative Collective of the of the greatest writers in the world, I don't know. Welcome your writer self again. Just it's showing up like while we're talking about it. You didn't do it. I mean, I'm laughing at it because I'm like, geez, like, is that what we really need? But sometimes some of us do. We need the permission slip. The child inside of us, I don't know. Maybe that person has been told no too many times or never validated, self-validated or otherwise by external forces, and you've got to do it yourself. Guess what? You're all grown up now, and nobody else is going to validate you in that way, but you can do it yourself. And if the creative, the expression self is so connected to the inner child, if you have to do that, if you have to write yourself a permission slip, do it. That's what I see the welcome your writer self as, kind of like. For me personally, I'm interpreting it as a permission slip. Like, I give Amber Dawn Tarot permission to write her heart out. To write all the things she wants to say. She's allowed to say whatever she wants. And take whatever bathroom break she requires. And drink all the coffee that she wants. Like, you're the adult now. You're in charge of your creative process, and sometimes that's scary because you know what? It's so easy to be distracted by life or not to make time for yourself in that way. I mean, you might find that you're like, wait, no. To be real, I have time that I do for these other things, and they just consume me. And before I know, I've got no time to write. You will make the time because you know what? You're going to give yourself that permission. You're going to allow yourself to do it. The universe is just waiting for you to open that stuff up. Because you know what? You will build yourself up. I know. It sounds impossible to some of us. But you will. You're going to feel instantly better when you start to write. For those of you holding yourself back, you're going to instantly start to feel different and better. That permission slip might instantly start to appear in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, wherever. It's going to instantly start to appear as soon as those words start appearing. As soon as you start writing, you're going to go, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I am. I know where I'm at. And I know what I need to do right now. I need to just keep going with this. I know what I'm doing. I always knew what I'm doing. I just had to allow myself to do it. With the writing, with the painting, with the self-expression, with the collaging, with the journaling, with the book, with the poems. Oh, with the poems, you know? Self-validation. It's tough. Do it though. Try it. That might not come easy to many of us, but show up to the page, the blank screen, the canvas, wherever you gotta show up. Oh, it doesn't want to stop at your writing inspires others, you know. Your self-expression, your creative output, your words, your art, your creative projects. Oh gosh, word projects just so corporate now, but your attempts at expressing yourself inspires other people. Does that scare you? Does that scare you? Are you afraid of that? Of the impact and influence and the fact that your words and what you can create can affect people? Does that feel like too much for you? As if you don't have a soul connected to everything, as if you aren't part of the everything already. You are part of that entire... We need this more than ever. We need the writers, the poets, the musicians, I have a hard time saying that word, I'm so sorry. The painters, the creative expression, the creative expressive people creating their art in any way, their self-expression. We need your self-expression more than ever. We need to counterbalance the darkness. Some of the expression might be dark, but that is also needed. Some of that expression that goes into the dark places shines light on it. And we need the reveal. We need the revealing. We need the uncovering. We need the uncovering of the bones. We need the digging up we need to shine into the darker places of ourselves. The braver you are, with yourself and showing up with your writing and your art, the more you inspire other people, even if you're not showing it to their faces or putting it all over the place. You inspire people when you do your creative work, when you self-express, when you are connecting to your soul, your heart space, your mind, when you know, because writing, that's your mind, your heart, your soul, the parts of you that you might even be afraid to look at for yourself. You be brave to the page and you're going to inspire others. Don't worry, you already are. If you share your writing, then we can be inspired. Now, this isn't necessary for everyone. Some of you are doing it just for you and privately, for your work, for your healing, and that is fine too. But there are different ways, different places, different groups where people can share in a smaller, maybe of a friend, or there are art groups and or writing groups where you can share on a more personal level with other people who aren't connected to your life, you know. But let's say you are sharing online or whatever. Don't be afraid if you've reached this part, and let's say you've had that book. I know of a few people in this past year publish your books. That's brave. They not only did the work of writing, they decide to share it. It will inspire people. It will inspire people. If you share your writing, then we can be inspired. Let it out of your head, computer, drawer, or closet. Know that you and your writing inspire others. Any creative outlet you're doing. You know what I'm talking about. Let's say you've done a channel, a YouTube expression. You're expressing yourself through this or that. You've blogged, you've written poems. Somebody has been moved by what you've done. You might think it's on a small scale. People have been moved and or connected to what you've had to say, because what you've had to say has either opened up something inside them or resonated with them, and they're like, wow, I'm not the only one. Somebody else has seen this, and or they are showing me something that has inspired me with their bravery of showing who they are for me to write and show who I am. And there's something magnificently beautiful about that. Don't be afraid to be yourself in your art. And don't be afraid to play with that either and explore other. You contain multitudes, as they say. We write to discover more of who we are. I need to stop. We write to discover more of who we are. That just connected right to what I was saying. Do you know how interesting, powerful, and unusual you are? Most of us don't. We think we are mostly what we do, and that other people have more interesting lives or stories. Your writing can show you how incandescent, brave, wise, or human we are. Let your writing reveal more of you. Let your writing help reveal more of you. There you go. I'm going to stop with this or else I'll keep going. But that's... You might feel like you don't have something to say that's... no. You are interesting, powerful, and unusual. Most of us don't. We think we are mostly what we do. You let yourself fall into the label that you are this, you are that. You're put into certain roles in your life, and you think that is what you are. You're more. You might think, oh, well, my story isn't interesting. I just go to work or I'm at home. I'm taking care of this. I'm doing that. I do the same thing every day. You have lived. You are living. You have a life. You have an inner life that is deep, resonant. You have truths you've learned through the experiences of your life. You have so much more within you. Maybe you have read a lot or watched a lot. You've learned a lot. You are more than just what you feel has become what you are. Your writing will reveal that. Your writing will reveal that. Your writing will reveal that. And even the most what can appear simplistic, banal, daily documenting of life can seem like amazingly reveal some of the most captivating parts of being a human being. Captivating. You know so much about so many things. You have your own perspective. Your life is already full of stories. And you know some of them already. So if you want to write some of those, just be brave. We write to discover more of who we are. You'd be surprised at what you are underneath all that, underneath the labels you've accepted or the what you've placed on yourself, the limitations, you will find out more of who you are. And the more you find out who you are, what you can be, the more you can either change it, transform it, accept it, become it, alter your path, know who you are, to understand your patterns and know where you can go, where you can change that, or how you can become more of it. You might be surprised at how strong you are, how resilient, how funny you are. Maybe you're really funny when you write. And maybe you haven't been laughing in real life as much. Maybe you've got a sense of humor that let yourself show up to the page and surprise yourself. Meet yourself. Meet yourself at the page. Meet yourself at the screen. Meet yourself at the canvas. Meet yourself in your music, meet yourself in your self-expression. Meet yourself there. And keep meeting yourself. Introduce yourself. That's where that card, right? What was it about? Right? Like a greeting for your writer self. I guess we're tying back to that in some way. It's not just about the membership card, it's about introduce yourself. Oh, introduce yourself. I'm thinking of Gord Downie. Oh, don't make me think of that last album. Introduce yourself. It could be as simple as writing yourself a letter. Write yourself a letter. Tell yourself who you are right now. And then challenge that. Write another letter in response to yourself. What did you find surprising about how you wrote about yourself? Write a letter to yourself, telling yourself, introducing who you are. And then look at that. Write a free write about, well, how does that make you feel? The blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you wrote well of yourself. Maybe you had a lot better things to say about yourself than you expected. Maybe you did. Maybe you did. But maybe you said things that what you want to stand up for yourself about in the free write and be like, well, I'm this, but I could be this, or I could do this if I had this, whatever. I don't know where yours would go. But I'm telling you, write a letter to yourself, introducing who you are. Right now. Not right in this moment, but like who you are now in the present. And then try a free write. A free write is like you're looking at that as your prompt. Respond to it either from a different place than how you felt when you wrote that intro to yourself. See what you reveal in that. What do you actually have to say to how you introed yourself? It doesn't mean it has to be combative or argumentative about anything you had to say. Well, when it's truth, that's how you perceive yourself. But what about beneath that? What about how you want to be? What about what you would be if you didn't have certain things that you feel keep you from being what you really feel you're? What if you have and I'm also this. And I feel I could be this. And. It can be and or but I actually. Or it could become a poem. It could turn into a poem in response. You could look at that letter introducing yourself and end up writing a poem in response. Like, yes, but I am this, and you can get all metaphorical and beautiful about it. I am, it could be, don't worry about the cliche, but it could be I am the storm, on the lake, the waves hitting the stones. I am the, maybe some of you, it's like, I am that door that leads down the twisting, winding stairs down to a place that is locked. I am the trees when the light hits them. When someone stops and sees that, they feel like they are connected to God. Whatever you believe. You don't know what you will write to yourself till you start it. So if it starts out dry, like a letter intro, this is me, this is my life, this is what I do, that's cats, I like to drink coffee, my favorite food is this, I do that, or I don't do this, or I'm, stuck, or whatever. I have this is happening, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to introduce yourself as. Then later, reply to that. It doesn't have to be in the same session. You can just leave it there for a bit, look at that letter, come back to it later, and reply to it creatively and or from a different heart space. So thank you for letting me read for you for this first reading. This was a creative, for creatives calling. I have a stack of decks beside me, and this was the one I felt called to, which isn't a tarot. It's funny, I'm starting the tarot channel, and I ended up not reading tarot to start with. I'm reading writer's inspiration cards, but that sometimes it's like that. You might set out to do a creative endeavor and decide, well, this is going to be a painting of a whatchamacallit, and then before you know it, it's a who's it, it is what it is. Go with it. Thank you so much for having stopped by. I put a bunch of stones in here next to a heart crystal. My amethyst is usually on a shelf that's near a picture that I took of my father touching a tree in a bit of woods. And it's very beautiful. He's looking up in awe at a big tree. All this greenery. We're about to enter spring, so this stone is amethyst, and as you know, it's great for clarification and for the mind. And then I had grabbed some various crystals, thinking that I would put them on some decks for you guys, and you'd be drawn to a stone, and, blah, blah, blah. But I was called to do something else instead. This one just still reminds me of eggs that will be in the nests very soon. This one these are all very beautiful. The lake, deepest blue. So, I hope that you guys, this one disturbs me a little bit, but it's a great stone. I'm just like, what is it really revealing? It's beautiful, you know what I mean? It's the scary kind of beautiful, and sometimes some of us, don't be afraid to go there with your writing. That is needed in the world too. It's not all, we need to show those parts of ourselves and face those parts of ourselves. It puts us in awe. Thank you for having been here. If any of this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. I am new to sharing this kind of thing online, but I look forward to sharing from various decks and or at different times various types of readings. I hope that you find this place to be a space where you can feel comfortable, and that it'll return to you at times when you need to hear the messages that might be in there. I believe in there being universal consciousness, that we're connected so very much, and to feel that connection to more, I think it's very important that you connect to yourself, and that can be one of the most challenging things of it all, and overwhelming depending on how you have been treated or treated yourself. So start it. It's not just called the work. It is a privilege and pleasure and a gift that many of us have been given to have self-expression within us, that we are able to pour out of us. The more you pour into your self-expression, the more that is poured out and is given for others, who then are able to be inspired and feel their own and feel themselves. So there is no going dry with expression. Just show up and it will be there. It might take some time depending on how many boundaries, like, and I don't mean the good kind, I mean like barriers, obstacles, walls, stuff you've cluttered in the way of your creativity, or that's been put there in place, unfortunately, by circumstance. But it's there, and it is endless, as endless as galaxies and clusters of stars, as endless as space, as endless as there is no end to that creative source of energy and self-expression. And it carries forward after you're gone. So if you feel called to write and or express yourself in this lifetime, do it. That is a part of you. That is a gift. That is a beautiful way of connecting to yourself and to others, even in isolation, even in your own solitude. It is a beautiful way to connect, and it is timeless. It is timeless. Think of books, think of poetry, think of music, how people connect through it over generations and time. It's like having conversations with people who are long gone. That is the impact you can have through your self-expression. You are not just talking to yourself, you're talking to your past self, you're talking to your future self, and you're connecting to people before you and after you, even if it never sees the light of day. Don't be afraid. What you've already wanted to express is just waiting for you to do it, to express that beautiful part of you.